Hello, 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 and welcome to Courageously Kind. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Liz. We're twin sisters and best friends.
Together, we share stories of especially kind humans doing especially kind things, in hopes that these conversations motivate and inspire you to be kinder to yourself and others. When we're not speaking with an incredible guest, we'll speak directly from our hearts about what it means to us to be courageously kind. Well, hello, 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 and welcome back to Courageously Kind. We had the honor this week of chatting with Tyler Fetter, who is an author, an illustrator, and just an amazing human. She really was the best, and she has such a beautiful way of being vulnerable and relatable in a cool, chill way. I don't know how to describe it. I just think she's so cool. And for her to open up about the stories behind her books and about her artwork, and for her to chat with us about the reception to her artwork and that sort of thing was just so awesome. And we talked about her most recent book called Bodies Are Cool, which we think is so awesome. I came across that book on Instagram and knew immediately we had to find her and track her down and get her on the show, because it just was so in line with what we want to do at Courageously Kind, to inspire people to love themselves and accept themselves and be kinder to themselves. And I think that book, the Bodies Are Cool book, totally does that. She was awesome and just such a joy to chat with. We also talk about her upcoming book, Are You Mad at Me?, that she wrote with her sister Cody. And I honestly, I love every single thing about that book. I don't want to spoil it and give too much away. But it should be coming out very, very soon. Not sure when this episode is being released, to be honest. But that book should be coming out relatively close to the release of this episode. So check out the description for that info. But yeah, enjoy this conversation. Tyler was awesome. And she's just got cool big sister vibes. I don't know what it is. I think she is a big sister, so that's probably what it is. But she was awesome. And we loved chatting with her. So without further ado, here we go. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Do you want to start by introducing yourself? Tell us a little about yourself. I know icebreakers kind of suck sometimes, but where are you from? What are some things that you like to do in your free time? All that good stuff.
Yeah, sure. My name is Tyler Fetter. I'm an author, illustrator of Bodies Are Cool and Dancing at the Pity Party. And I live in Chicago. I have a cat that I'm obsessed with. I recently learned to crochet. I've just been crocheting nonstop for the past year. I have a lot of little friends that I've made, just fruits and vegetables and things with faces.
I love it.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's fun to have a creative hobby that I don't have to monetize.
For sure. For sure.
Absolutely.
It's so much fun.
Epic.
I love it. I learned how to knit last year, and I still have a scarf that I'm working on. Oh, there's my baby scarf is hanging back there, but it's harder than I thought it would, and it takes so long. Working with your hands.
Yeah, I learned how to knit when I was in high school, and I could never really get into it. It was fine. But something about crocheting, I feel like you don't have to learn that much in order to make really cute things.
I should try it. We have a crochet and knitting club at our school, and they are awesome. So
that's cool.
Maybe see if they would teach me. Recruit them. Yeah. This is Liz's favorite icebreaker question to ask.
Okay, I love this question because there's not really much pressure. It's not what's one fun fact? It's very specific.
I know. It's not specific enough.
Yeah, I hate it. My favorite one.
Yeah.
My favorite one is, if you were a kitchen appliance or utensil, what would you be?
Well, I did for Black Friday or Cyber Monday or something last year. I got a set of silicone spatulas that have rainbow sprinkles in them. They're white with rainbow sprinkles. Not real
love
ones,
it.
the synthetic.
Yeah.
And I I'm a really big fan of things that are functional but cute.
Yes.
So
Love that.
I don't know if that's more my favorite utensil than who I would be, but I would like to think that I'm useful, but be a little fun.
I love it. That's
Great
a fabulous answer. Fabulous answer.
Amazing.
What would you be today?
Today, I think I'm sticking with measuring spoons.
Why?
Like a teaspoon, like a tablespoon. Just kind of like dainty and cute and fun.
That's a good one. I don't know what I would be today. What's the vibe today? Maybe like a spoon. I don't I don't know. It's been ice cream season. I've been eating ice cream like almost every day. One of those big spoons that you can scoop ice cream with. Not an ice cream scoop, but like a big.
Oh yeah,
totally.
I know what
like
you
a big.
mean.
The one where the ice cream scoop is in the dishwasher and you don't want to take it out, and you're like, oh, I'll just use this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm channeling today. Yeah.
I like that.
Okay,
vibe.
getting to some more, not serious, but more of the point of why we're talking with you today and transitioning from kitchen appliances. That's always Liz's favorite part. Is the kitchen appliances.
Good one.
We came across your work via Instagram. Your Instagram is beautiful, by the way. And in your bio, you have this phrase "roaring softly" in your like little name section, and we absolutely love that. I feel like it very much ties into like what we were trying to come up with the name Courageously Kind. How did you come up with this phrase, and what does it mean to you?
That's a great question. So Roaring Softly is the name of my Etsy shop, and I opened it oh my god, it's been over 10 years now, which is wild.
Awesome.
And it took me a really long time to think of the name. And so I kept putting off opening an Etsy shop because I wanted to think of a really good name.
Yes.
And I found this Ingrid Bergman quote. She's this old Hollywood actress. She was like in Casablanca and stuff.
Love it.
She said, I was the shyest human ever invented, but I had a lion inside me that wouldn't shut up. And I just like connected to that so much because I was very shy growing up and had, a lot of teachers and adults always like kind of criticizing me for it. And I got all the bad participation grades and should raise my hand more and whatever. But I always had like a lot of thoughts like furiously going in my head. And I also really love cats and big cats and lions and tigers and everything. So I just like I liked that like combination of things. And so yeah, I can't remember exactly how I got Roaring Softly out of that, but it was just like I was probably thinking of different phrases that kind of went along with that quote.
Love it. I love that quote too.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll put that in the description or something. Let me make a note of that. Because I love it so much.
So cool. I love that concept. It's like we try and incorporate that into like Courageously Kind, our logo of like taking these qualities that are traditionally seen as maybe more aggressive and maybe more like forward and thinking about them in a perspective of like a softer, kinder approach.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah. I love that. Also going to be checking out your Etsy store later too.
Yes.
I love it. We'll put that in the description too. Yeah. Check that out.
Amazing. Let's talk about your beautiful book, Bodies Are Cool. Tell us a little bit about that, what the process of writing that was like.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
So I am in a family with 3 girls. It's me and then 2 younger sisters. So immediately I was like, it's so cool you guys are sisters and you're working together. Like my sister things are my favorite. So both of my sisters have had eating disorders, and I have gotten close. I've never been diagnosed with anything, but we grew up in a really chaotic environment around food and a lot of judgment and restriction and stuff. And especially with one of my sisters, she's been to a lot of different treatment centers for eating disorders, and something that they often do is have like a family week or a family weekend or something where we all come in and like sit around with a therapist and they teach us stuff together.
Mhm.
And the more I learned about it, the more I'm like, this is so unfair. I mean, obviously it's always unfair for anyone to have an eating disorder, but the idea that like when kids are really little, they don't have any understanding of what bodies are good or bad.
Yeah.
It's other people that are giving them those messages and leading them down this road. So I really wanted to make a book for like super little kids that was like reinforcing that bodies are good, so that ideally they will not feel so judgmental about bodies as they get older.
Love it. Love everything about it.
Yeah. And it was a really fun book to work on. I worked on it during like the first several months of like intense COVID isolation.
Yeah.
So the world was very scary and weird outside, and I was, you know, isolating by myself. I live alone. It's just me and my cat. And I was drawing all these big groups of people having fun together.
Oh, yeah.
It was like kind of like a fantasy world I could draw while I was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's super interesting. You know, a lot of people that we've talked to have started the like things during we started during the pandemic too. I feel like, and I hate to it was such a scary and it still is so scary and so uncertain. So I don't want to minimize that by saying this, but I feel like a lot of creativity and like outlet and people wanting to change the world and our societies and the way we think has come out of it. So I don't want to say that like, you know, it's a great thing that we were all, you know, locked inside our houses.
Right. No, I get
it. Happening. Yeah, but I feel like
any difficult circumstance, I think, especially one where you just have a lot of time to be alone and think.
Yeah.
I think can always lead to something good.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Along the lines of body positivity and loving ourselves and accepting ourselves, I came across a Huffington Post article about a drawing that you did that received backlash because it featured a woman with body hair. And as I will say, someone who does have a lot of body hair, I saw that and was like, oh my God, like, why are people... Okay, kindness, we are approaching it through lots of kindness, but when you receive backlash like this, how do you, as a person, as a creative, how do you sort of navigate those feelings that come up with that?
Yeah, it's definitely a new thing that I've been wading through. When I first started putting art online, it was primarily like fan art, so there was less of an opportunity to like get hate. Like I'm sure the people exclusively do fan art get hate for different reasons, but once I started making like personal things and social justice things, it just like really riles people up.
Yeah.
And the woman in that drawing was me. It was
Yeah.
a self-portrait.
It was beautiful, by the way. I thought it was beautiful.
Thank you. You know, hate is weird, and I think for me, I feel like I would rather the type of person who would get mad about an innocuous drawing of someone with leg hair. Like I would rather those people dislike me than people that I share beliefs dislike me.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And the thing that's most frustrating is that I feel like I can't change these people's minds. Like
I get that.
At first I got a lot of hate for bodies are cool, especially for the trans representation. And I kept like trying to like not argue back, but to like, I'm gonna kill him with kindness because I'm cis, so like I can take this cause on,
right?
And be like, yeah, this book is about empathy, and like surely you agree that empathy is a good thing for kids to learn.
Absolutely.
And just all these things that feel so like obvious, like of course we all care.
Yes.
Kindness and empathy, like hopefully there are people that aren't like anti
Anti-kindness and empathy.
But
yeah.
I would like put all this effort into like
Mhm.
crafting these responses where I'm like, I'm gonna finally convince them, like I'm gonna be the one to like turn
Yes.
thoughts around. And it just never worked. They're just
Yeah.
like so stuck in their hateful beliefs.
Yeah.
And after a while I just started blocking and reporting
Yeah.
people left and right.
Yeah.
So like I guess I can put my effort into kind of like changing people's minds where those are the people that are kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Who are like, I don't really understand body positivity. I
Yeah.
can be like, oh, I'll help you.
Yeah.
But the people that are like really angry and hateful, like they're gonna
Yeah.
be hateful no
Yeah.
matter what, and it sucks.
Yeah. I feel like we've had kind of a similar experience with
Mhm.
that in the sense of like we have received like I think mainly sorry to do this and we don't have to have this conversation if you want to, but like Liz has received like some hateful or just like mean-spirited
Yeah.
comments, and at
Mhm.
first like we tried to take like an
Mhm.
educational lens and approach it with a
Yeah.
lot of kindness,
Mhm.
and like you wanted to have this conversation where like maybe we can bring some people in and have a conversation
Mhm.
and change a mind and do it with empathy and do it
Yeah.
with kindness. And sometimes people just, I wish the internet was more of a space where those conversations could be
Mhm.
had, and maybe we're getting there. I don't know how exactly to change it or how to make it more a space where those conversations could be
Yeah.
had. How do you feel? Do you have any thoughts on
I
that?
think it's just sometimes people are just so close-minded
Yeah.
and nothing that you can say
And
or
it's okay
do.
to set that boundary and say like,
Yeah.
no, like this is my page and I'm gonna block
Mhm.
them because we tried to have a conversation and it didn't happen. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think that's an unkind thing to do at all.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes people are just so set in their beliefs that they
Yeah.
have I can't remember the name of it, but there's this something by confirmation bias. And
Yes.
it's where
Mhm.
people have a belief, and if you give them information that refutes that belief, it just makes them believe their thing more.
Yes.
Because they're just like looking for things that like
Yeah.
confirm what's already felt. And I
Yeah.
think that's what we see a lot with these people who get so heated about just like
About people
cheerful,
existing.
like
Yeah.
education, just people being like, let's be good people.
Literally.
And like, I'm mad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like the internet can sometimes be such like an echo chamber
Yeah.
too, you know, like people with like-minded beliefs just find each other, and it's like, well, everybody in my circle thinks the way I think,
Right.
so it must be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
But
dangerous
someone is trying to
too.
tell you in a respectful and empathetic way that like, no, maybe what you're saying is being harmful, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I have so many thoughts on it, but I just don't know like how do we, I don't know. Cause it's hard. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like some people I feel like you just can't change, but
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
but it's like, don't you want to
But
be a
there are
better
people-
person? There
there
are
are
people
people
out
that-
there that, yeah,
Can't change.
like you said, like people there in the middle.
Mhm.
Sort
Yeah,
of.
it's like you can change the people that you can change. And
Yeah.
it feels like in general, society is moving very slowly
Yeah.
in a good direction, even if they're taking like 3 steps forward and 2 steps
Yeah.
back.
Mhm.
Like if we look over the last like 200 years,
Yeah, for sure.
things are better than they used to be social justice wise. So I like
Yeah.
to think that like even if I can't like convince people today to change
Yeah.
their beliefs, that like, you know, 2 generations
Yeah.
away, that maybe their
Yeah.
like, grandchildren will be different.
Yeah. That's a good way
Absolutely.
to look at it and to think about it for sure.
Totally.
Good stuff.
we love that book.
Yeah.
We love that message. Bodies are beautiful. Bodies are cool. And I love that concept too. Like there's no good or bad body. Bodies are just bodies.
Yeah,
And
they're cool. Yeah.
Yeah, something that I talked about when I was like pitching the book was that I use these 2 examples. Flowers are they're all different looking flowers. And
Yes.
I'll say like roses are better than daffodils because
Yeah.
they're the shape or bigger or smaller or
Yes.
whatever. And the like a garden with lots of kind of flowers looks prettier than one that just has one kind.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also dogs.
Yes.
Dogs look so different from each other, like more than people look different.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like we don't
They're all
think
cute.
they're all cute. But it's not like they have to be a certain color or shape or size or whatever.
Yeah.
Even dogs that like, you know, there was that like ugliest dog competition, which is ridiculous that exists. But even when that, I've seen like multiple winners of that competition and like articles and stuff online, and the comments are all people saying it's so cute. The dog.
Literally.
Love them all. And like I wish that people could just think of human beings like
yes.
That.
No,
like
absolutely.
the same thing. It's just nature.
Yes. Absolutely.
Truly.
I love that. Flowers and dogs. I'd heard the flower ones, but not the dog one. That's so good. It's so true. Yeah. I love that.
The thing that came to mind first, because my youngest sister has a dog he's a teacup Yorkie, so he's 4 pounds. He's
oh my god.
And like he's super cute. And then we'll go to we'll be walking him and see like a Great Dane. Oh my god, the Great Dane is so cute.
So cute.
Like, and people who are walking dogs are always like commenting on other people's dogs positively. I think people are just willing to be like positive with dogs for some reason, but not with people.
Yeah, what's with that?
Take a little leap. Yeah.
Totally. So
crazy.
You have another book called Dancing at the Pity Party. Could you tell us a little bit about this book and what the process of writing that was like for you too?
Sure. Yeah. So Dancing at the Pity Party came out 1 month into quarantine.
Girl.
I had a whole book tour planned and then all was slashed. But I mean, that's such a small thing to be complaining about during COVID. But Dancing at the Pity Party is a young adult graphic memoir. It's about my mom dying. She died when I was a sophomore in college. And she had cancer. She got diagnosed this summer before that year of college. And then she died during spring break. So it was like a pretty quick process. And I really wanted to like show all the sides of grief because a lot of books and movies and things about death that I've seen before kind of just, they're sort of one note, like it's really sad and like a tearjerker. And I mean, obviously that's a huge part of grief.
Yeah.
But there were also so many like funny and weird things that happened during the whole process. And I just like wanted to show people like the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's why her death is in the middle of the book. It's not at the beginning or the end, because I wanted to show before and after.
Yes.
The whole thing.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. We haven't experienced loss like that close to us, but our grandma passed away in 2020. It was during the pandemic, and we were lucky that she was able to be with us. But like you said, I feel like grief is not, and before that we hadn't really experienced grief like that, but there's so many different aspects of it. But I think reminding yourself to be kind to yourself throughout the whole process, give yourself a lot of grace is so important.
I think like when someone you love dies, I feel like there's almost no wrong way of grieving. Like you don't want to be hurting people or hurting yourself, but outside of that, some people like being alone, some people like being with lots of people, some people want to cry, some people want to laugh, and like people who haven't experienced loss, I think if they sometimes will judge how people grieve, feel like you're not being sensitive enough or taking it seriously or whatever, and they don't know that like it's a whole complicated process.
Yeah, absolutely.
Different day to day. It's all fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for writing that book and for writing that for young people too, I feel like is so important.
Yeah.
Just to have that and to like
Yeah.
feel and hear and read that like your feelings are valid no matter what it is that you are feeling, and like you said, it's a whole process, and
Totally.
really, really beautiful.
Yeah, I've been really lucky to meet a lot of lovely people through writing that book who have lost someone, and I felt pretty isolated before I made the book. I know maybe like 2 or 3 people who had lost a parent, and now I know so many people, and we're all like in it together, and it's really been a gift.
I love that. It's so beautiful. That community that you can find is so beautiful.
Any experience that you have that you think is like you're the only one, it's like just impossible. Like there's tons of other people that have felt it, even if you don't know them.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally. Well, on a lighter note, you participated in 2017. You participated in Inktober, which is such a really cool thing where you create ink drawings every day for the month of October.
The best month ever.
We're a little biased.
Our birthdays are in October, so we're a little biased, but
are you twins?
We are.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think me and my sister are twins all the time.
What is how many years apart you said?
2.
Oh, that's not that far at all.
It's close.
Yeah. You're practically a twin. You get a twin card. Yeah, totally.
I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, you're good. All good.
I love it. You did a really cool thing where you recreated classic paintings that mainly feature straight, white, non-disabled people, and instead you chose to use a very diverse, beautiful group of people. Tell us a little bit about that project.
Yeah, it was super fun. I just like made this long list of paintings that are ones that we kind of recognize, like Mona Lisa and whatever ones that are familiar. And then I tried to like take every person in the painting and like flip them to something that was different.
I love it.
And it was really fun. It was like a fun challenge to try to do something every day. And I also do the majority of my art digitally. I use my iPad and an Apple Pencil, but these I did with like these like brush markers. They're like markers, but the tip is kind of squishy like a brush. So it was really cool to do like physical art that I could do. And yeah, it was a really fun time, and it helped me look at art differently. And it's also it's fun to try to like recreate a piece of art and like make it different. It was just like a fun creative challenge, and it was also a really fun way to connect with my audience on social media, because people would ask to see specific features, like, oh, I have a C-section scar, could you try to put one? And I love like any kind of problem solving that I can put in my art. It like helps me creatively, like if I have a creative block but I know that I want to show someone with X, Y, and Z physical traits, it makes it easier to like conceive of like what would be,
that makes a lot of sense.
So it was really fun, and I've done a bunch of Inktobers since then, and they've all had different themes, and
love it.
October's coming up kind of soon. I'll have to think of a new theme.
Do you have a theme that was your favorite? Can you choose, or is it impossible to choose?
I really did like doing the famous paintings so much, and I would do it again, but I feel like there aren't that many paintings that are like recognizable, because I did 31, I think.
Oh my gosh,
and I even that, like a bunch of
that's a lot.
I didn't really know. Last year I did my own little challenge called Bodtober, where
yes, I love that one too.
That was really fun. I like picked a different body part or like physical feature that started with each letter of the alphabet. Well, that's something I could potentially do again because there are more body parts out there.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. To sort of, no, one more question. You're working on a book with your sister right now. Is that correct? What can you tell us about it? Don't give too much away, but what can you tell us about
A
it?
bunch actually, because it's available for pre-order right now.
So exciting.
It comes out September 5th.
Amazing.
I wrote it with my middle sister. She's the one that people think we're twins. Her name is Cody, and it's called "Are You Mad at Me?"
So good.
It's it literally started because I was working on a different book about anxiety and having a really hard time, just like a lot of writer's block, and I kept being worried that like my agent and publisher were mad at me. And Cody said, "You should just write a book called 'Are You Mad at Me?'" She was making fun of me. I was like, "Wait a minute."
Actually.
So it's about this little ostrich named Opal, and she has anxiety, and she has this task. She has to go pick up a dessert from the bakery for her family's party. And she keeps running into different animals and thinking that they're mad at her because of like how they're acting. And each time they're not mad for like an animal related reason.
Yeah.
So, like her friend that's a cheetah was just like running too fast and didn't see her waiting. Stuff like that.
I love everything about this.
Yeah, it was like we joked because like throughout the process of working on it, we still kept asking each other, "Are you mad at me?"
I love that.
You know, blending work and family can be tricky. I'm sure
we know for sure.
Totally.
And like Cody and I are really close, but like, you know, you can't be like there's no amount of closeness where you don't occasionally have a little
exactly.
Something. So, but it was overall, it was like a really great time working on it together.
I love it.
And we're really excited for when it comes out and we can start sharing it with people.
So exciting. I love it. I love that she's an ostrich too. I just love that so much.
I wanted to do some kind of animal that could like visibly show anxiety. So a way that I often like draw myself when I'm feeling anxious is I make my arms like really long and like wobbly, like squiggly lines.
Yes.
And so we made her neck like that. You can see it at the cover of the book, but we in the book they call it the noodles when she feels anxious because her neck gets wobbly like a noodle.
I'm gonna start saying the noodle. I got the noodles right now. Oh my god, I love that. The noodles. That's so good. Oh my gosh. Opal the ostrich. I love her already. Amazing.
She's our little friend.
I love it.
This has been so fun.
So much fun.
So lovely. Our last question for you. It's kind of a big question. But you can answer it however you like. We always like to ask people, what does kindness mean to you?
I feel like for me, kindness is kind of just like accepting people the way that they are already.
Love that.
Not if they're like cruel, but just
you block them on Instagram. Like
yeah.
Yes.
Just like I think my sisters and I talk about this a lot. We'll say like, "I'm proud of you for all you've accomplished, but also I would still be proud of you and love you even if you weren't accomplishing stuff." Because people are just
that.
Love just the way they are.
I love it. It's a wonderful answer. Tyler, thank you so much for your time. It was such a joy to meet you and to chat with you and to chat about your wonderful books. Thank you for all that you do. You're awesome.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. This is great.
Do you see what I mean about like cool big sister vibes? I loved it. I love this conversation. Tyler is so awesome and an incredible artist as well too. Her art is so beautiful. and so moving at times too. If you want to check out Tyler's art, you can visit her Etsy shop. Is called Roaring Softly, which she mentioned in this episode. We're going to have that linked in the description. You can check out her website at tylerfetter.com. You can also check out her Instagram at tylerfetter. And again, all of this will be linked in the description. Go check it out. And if you want to support her, go for it. Do it. She's awesome and so worthy of your love and support. So thank you so much for listening. Hope that Tyler's work and this conversation with her sort of helps you feel a little bit more inspired to give yourself some more grace and some more love and acceptance, and accept yourself where you're at in this moment today, because it is good. And even if it's not where you want to be yet, it's still good and it's still worthy of love and of kindness. So that's all I've got to say. Take good care, friends, and we'll see you back here real soon.
We'd like to give a huge thank you to Anna Waltz Landscape Contracting for their support of Courageously Kind.
Anna Waltz is a family-owned landscape contracting company in Berks County that has served Pennsylvania for over 35 years.
If you're ready to get your landscaping project started, visit annawaltzlandscape.com or call 610-916-7070.
Anna Waltz Landscape Contracting, beautifying Pennsylvania 1 yard at a time.
Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, feel free to share it with your friends, your family, or anyone you think might like it too.
And if you want to support the show, leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It really does help. Or check out our merch store at courageouslykind.org. Take good care, and we'll see you back here real soon.